The knock came just past midnight. Hesitant, almost apologetic. At first, Ethan Dreyer thought he imagined it. His farmhouse, tucked into the hills of Vermont, rarely saw visitors, especially not in the dead chill of a March night. He set down his worn paperback and listened. Silence, save for the creaks of an old house surrendering to the cold. Then again a quiet, measured knock. Ethan rose from his chair, unease prickling down his spine. He slipped on his boots, grabbed the old revolver from the mantel, not that he had fired it in years, and approached the door. "Who's there?" he called, voice steady. No answer. He cracked open the door, peering into the darkness. First he saw nothing. Then his eyes adjusted. A figure stood there, cloaked, hunched and trembling. No car was nearby. No tracks in the snow, save for a shallow, meandering trail leading from the forest. "Help!" the figure rasped, voice barely human. Against every instinct screaming at him, Ethan pulled the door wider. "Come inside. You're freezing." The figure staggered through. As it crossed the threshold, the porch light illuminated its face, and Ethan's breath caught in his throat. This was no human. Its skin shimmered with a muted silver sheen, almost reptilian, with large black eyes glistening under the hood. Two elongated fingers clutched its side, where a dark, viscous fluid seeped from a wound. It slumped onto the wooden floor. "I mean no harm," it whispered. "Please. You're our only hope." Ethan stared. "Our?" The creature's head bobbed weakly. "My people dying. Taken." Ethan knelt beside it, mind racing between disbelief and survival instinct. He had heard the conspiracies, who hadn't? Lights in the sky, abductions, secret governments. But this, real, tangible, and bleeding on his floor. "Who are you?" Ethan asked, forcing calm. The creature's voice trembled. "Call me Kari. We watched. Admired humanity's spirit. Your defiance. Your resilience. Now we are hunted. By something far worse." "Who?" Kari convulsed, shuddering. "The Eltari Dominion. They enslave. Consume. We fled. They found us. Our last beacon said. A human might help." Ethan blinked. "Why me?" Kari's dark eyes locked onto his. "Not just you. Humanity. Your kind can resist what we cannot. You endure what should break you." Ethan stared at the revolver in his hand. Useless against what Kari spoke of. "You're asking me to save your people." Nod. Pained grimace. "How?" Kari coughed, a strange whistling sound. "A device. Hidden in orbit. Needs activation. Needs human touch. Only then we can fight back." Silence enveloped the room. Ethan's mind reeled. It was absurd. Insane. But something deep within him stirred. A stubborn ember he thought had long since died. The world had moved on without him. A war veteran discarded, forgotten. Perhaps this was purpose whispering back to him. "All right," Ethan said quietly. "Tell me what to do." The journey. The snow crunched under Ethan's boots as he helped Kari to the shed. Hidden beneath the floorboards, Kari revealed a small, sleek vessel, no larger than a pickup truck. The exterior shimmered like oil on water, rippling with subtle colors. Inside, the ship was cramped, lit with soft blue glows. Ethan strapped into a seat, heart hammering. "Short trip," Kari murmured, fingers dancing over controls. "Hold on." The vessel shuddered, then surged upward. Through a small viewport, Ethan watched the farmhouse and Earth shrink away. Soon they breached the upper atmosphere, stars exploding into brilliant clarity. Orbiting above was a station unlike anything Ethan had ever imagined. It resembled a web spun between two crescent-shaped arms, each bristling with alien machinery. "This is your device?" Ethan asked. Curry nodded. "The Heart Forge. It bends matter, manipulates quantum signatures. With it, we can resist the Dominion's psionic fields." As they docked, Curry's strength waned visibly. Ethan shouldered most of the burden, hauling him through winding corridors. The interior of the station was eerily abandoned. Shadows stretched along the walls, and distant clatters hinted at unseen movements. "They're already here," Curry whispered. "Hurry!" At the heart of the station lay a circular chamber dominated by a pedestal. Hovering above it spun a crystalline structure, pulsing faintly. Panels around the room displayed alien scripts, some flashing urgent warnings. "Place your hand," Curry gasped, motioning to the pedestal. Ethan approached. As his palm hovered over the surface, the station seemed to hold its breath. Then a voice, calm, mechanical, spoke in English. "Human biometrics confirmed. Heart Forge activation sequence initiated." The station trembled. Suddenly a shriek split the air, raw, predatory. From the far end of the chamber, figures emerged. Gaunt, angular beings, their skin a sickly gray, their limbs unnaturally long. "Turi." One raised a clawed hand. A wave of force slammed Ethan against the pedestal. Pain exploded through him, but he gritted his teeth, refusing to fall. The Heart Forge pulsed brighter, responding to his defiance. "Fight!" Curry cried weakly. The Eltari advanced. Ethan staggered to his feet. He wasn't a soldier anymore, but some instincts never died. He grabbed a loose conduit from the floor. Heavy, metal, brutal. As the first Eltari lunged, Ethan swung with all his might. The conduit connected with a wet crack. The alien screeched, staggering back. Another came. Another blow. Another fall. Still more swarmed. Ethan roared, the sound primal, a raw echo of every battle, every loss, every injustice he had ever endured. He fought not just for himself, not just for Kari, but for something greater, the right to resist. The Heart Forge's light intensified, bathing the room in blinding radiance. The Eltari faltered, clutching their heads, shrieking. Ethan, bleeding and battered, felt a warmth spread through him. Not pain but power. The Heart Forge linked to him, amplifying his will. His indomitable spirit. "Now!" Curry shouted. Ethan slammed his hand onto the pedestal again. There was a flash, a pulse that expanded outward like a nova. The Eltari were thrown back, disintegrating into ash. Silence. Only the low, steady hum of the Heart Forge remained. Kari crawled forward, gazing up at Ethan with awe. "You did it," he whispered. "You saved us." Ethan sagged to his knees, exhaustion threatening to consume him. "No," he rasped. "We saved each other." The aftermath. Over the following days, Kari's people, hidden survivors from scattered worlds, emerged. Freed from the Dominion's grip, they began to rebuild. They offered Ethan a place among them, a role of honor. But he declined. "I'm just a man," he said, smiling wearily. "I belong on Earth." Still, he agreed to act as an emissary, a bridge between humanity and Kari's people, should the need ever arise again. Before departing, Kari presented him with a small, crystalline shard from the Heart Forge. "A symbol," Kari explained, "of courage, of hope." Back at his farmhouse, Ethan placed the shard on his mantle, beside the old revolver. Nights were quieter now. But sometimes, when the stars burned especially bright, he would sit on his porch and listen. not for a knock, but for a new call to adventure. Because now he knew, no matter how vast the universe, no matter how dark the night, humanity's spirit was a light that could never be extinguished.